I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls my whole life. I collect everything from porcelain to cloth, American Girl, neonates, and real care dolls. But my favorite is to collect and make Reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Zoe, Haley, Landon, and Maisie. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hey guys, it is January 2nd, and in true tradition, it's become a tradition now for me, I am going to be on my way to the Indigo store at Yorkdale Mall for the new American Girl of the Year release. This time I'm going with Marilyn. I was hoping to go with both Marilyn and Paula, but unfortunately Paula is sick. So everyone send your well wishes for Paula. Hope she gets better soon and that her and I can go to the American Girl store another time together, because she definitely is sad to miss out. I couldn't put it off to another day. I have to go today because unfortunately I found a few flaws on Nenea. As you saw in the video, she had some shiny spots on her wrist, but she also had shiny spots on her ankles, and I found a flaw in her vinyl on her forearm, and is it forearm? No, sorry, like the shoulder area, and it's like a white fleck in her vinyl, and at first I thought maybe it would just wash off, but it doesn't. It's an actual flaw in the vinyl, and it's in a very noticeable place. And you really don't notice it unless you're looking up close. But for me personally, as a collector, and the fact that American Girl dolls cost a lot more in Canada than they do in the US, like they're $150 here. I think that for that kind of money, I shouldn't have to like keep it with these flaws. So unfortunately I have to exchange Nenea. I'm a little sad about it. I really did toy with just keeping her as is because she's the one that Alex gave me, but even he agreed, like, for that money that he paid, you know, like, not every really no American Girl is 100% perfect. But whenever I buy an American Girl doll in person, I literally go through every one in the store to find the one that's the closest to perfect that I can find, considering how expensive they are. So, yeah, so I'm going to be boxing her up now. Marilyn should be here in about 10 minutes, and then we'll be heading out. So we'll get to see the new Girl of the Year, Luciana. I won't be buying a doll today. I'm just going to be exchanging Nenea, and I'm probably going to buy a couple of like small things in the store with my gift cards, and we're probably going to look around the mall a little bit, have some lunch, that kind of stuff. So come along. guys, so I'm home from my day out with Marilyn, and we had a really nice day. Ended up being at the mall probably a lot longer than I thought we would end up being, and it was really nice. And the mall was, well, Yorkdale Mall is always crazy busy, so I don't really go there often. I usually only go the one time a year for the Girl of the Year release, and that's about it, because the mall is just crazy. And especially now with kids out of school for the Christmas break, they go back next week. Yeah, it was just a zoo in there. But anyways, I wanted to tell you about my experience in exchanging Nanea. And yes, I did get to exchange her, so this is my new Nanea. She's gorgeous. I'm happy with her. But what an ordeal to exchange her. And I just have to tell you about it because I just was floored by the way I was treated. So what happened was, we got there about 11:15, and I figured I didn't want to carry her around. Like, I didn't want to carry her big box around while I looked in the store for one to exchange her with. And so I went right to the checkout desk right away, and I explained to the girl, I said, I got this doll for Christmas, and unfortunately there's a flaw in her vinyl. I explained that, you know, she had this white speck in her vinyl that, and, you know, I said, I'm a doll collector, so I'm, you know, kind of picky with my dolls, and I said, I just would like to exchange her. And I showed her my receipt on my email to show that it was an online order. And I said, I just was wondering if I could leave the doll here while I go look in the store for another one that I want to exchange it with. And she said, yeah, like, as long as that receipt on your email has your order number, you should be good to go. So she put my name on the box that I was leaving there while I went and looked for another Nanea. Well, when we at first I didn't think there was any Naneas left. I couldn't find them. I found ones on display, but I didn't find any boxes. Finally, under where they had Moana on, not Moana. I have Moana on the brain because I was looking at a Moana Hallmark ornament on the internet just a while ago. Anyways, Nanea. Where they had Nanea on display, they had some other historical dolls, like their boxes underneath that shelf. So anyways, I moved some of them out of the way, found one Nanea on the shelf, which was this one. And then actually afterwards, Marilyn found in another spot of the store 2 other boxes. But at that point, I had already just decided I wanted this one. So took it back to the checkout desk. And the lady that had initially told me that it would be fine to do the exchange was busy with another customer. And so I went to the other lady that was at the checkout counter. Again, explained to her, I said, I have a doll behind the counter there with my name on it. I got it for Christmas. It has some flaws on it. And I found this one that seems to be in really good condition. I would like to make a straight exchange. And she was like, she seemed confused and didn't know how to handle the situation, this girl. And she, you know, I showed her the receipt on my phone. I said, unfortunately, my husband didn't keep the printed out copy that came with the shipment. But this is, you know, an invoice from my account with Indigo and blah, blah, blah. And so she was like, so where are the flaws? So I pointed them out. I told her, I'm like, she has really shiny wrists and ankles. Now most American Girl dolls, most of the dolls in my collection, they do have like a slight little, you know, shine on their ankles and wrists or whatever. But the other one that I got, the original Nanea I got, was like super shiny in those areas, like more than the norm. And then of course the white fleck in the vinyl was what really bothered me, because it just basically looked like some kind of like white residue or dirt on her. And so I felt like it would just bother me. Like I would keep wanting to wipe it away, but it wouldn't wipe away because it was literally like embedded in the vinyl. So I showed it to her and she kind of looked at me like, are you crazy? Like, you know, it's barely noticeable, blah, blah, blah. And I explained to her, I'm like, this is not for a child. I am an adult collector, doll collector. And I, you know, I have certain ways that I like my dolls, right? So, so she then proceeds to say, okay, well, I need to go and check on something. So she then takes my original Nenea that I got on Christmas. She leaves the lid to the box on the counter, takes the box that has the doll in it, and leaves. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for her to come back. This poor other cashier, the one that I had originally spoke with when I got there, you know, the lineup started to pile up on her because I was waiting for the other cashier to come back. And I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, Marilyn came up with me and we both stood together for a good 15 minutes waiting for this woman to come back and finish dealing with this return. And, you know, we were just standing there looking at each other and like we kept saying like, why is it taking her so long? Like, what is the big deal? It's a straight exchange. So finally, after 15 minutes of standing there, she comes back with the manager. The manager puts my original Nenea, who's still in the box, on the counter, and then proceeds to try to push me to take one of the display Neneas. She goes, okay, so you want to make an exchange. We picked out this Nenea. She's in great condition and she's really pretty and you can take her. And so I took and then I'm like, well, but I already picked out another one that's here, brand new in the box. And I looked her over really well and she's fine. I'm happy with her. I would like to just exchange for her. And she goes, well, this one is perfectly fine as well. And she's really pretty and blah, blah, blah. And she's giving me this like major attitude. And so I took the doll that she was trying to like basically shove in my face. And I looked it over and right away I noticed a huge scratch all the way down the arm. Like, I'm not even kidding. It started from here and went all the way down to almost the wrist. It was super noticeable. I said, no, this one is not in perfect condition. There is a huge scratch down her arm. And she looked at me and she goes, where? I don't see it. And Marilyn, who wasn't even like up close to Nenea, she goes, oh, I just saw it. She's like, and she pointed it out to her. She's like, it is right there. There's a huge scratch that's going right down the arm. So then the manager proceeds to give me more attitude. And she goes, oh, okay, well, she's like, where's your receipt? Then I show her on my phone and she goes, oh, this is an online order? She goes, oh, I thought it was an in-store purchase. Well, we'll only do straight exchanges for in-store purchases. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like, so what can be done at this point? Because I said the original doll I have has flaws and I would like to exchange it for this doll. So what can be done? She goes, well, we can issue how did she word it? She's like, we can reorder a new one for you. And that will be your exchange. You can return this one today and we will ship out a new one to you. And I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. Why should I have to wait for a new doll to be shipped to me when I've just picked out a perfectly good one that I'm happy with off the shelf? And she's like, well, we can't do it for in-store purchases, or we can't do it for online orders. And she's like, or you can just return it for a refund, and we'll refund your husband's credit card since it's on account, like on attached to the invoice or whatever. So then Marilyn goes, okay, so why can't you just refund the card, and she can just purchase this new one, right? And it was almost like the manager didn't want me to do that. But then she was like, oh, yeah, I guess you could do that. So she's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. She's like, then she tells the girl, issue the refund to the card, and then you can repurchase this one. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, what was the big deal? I didn't understand. It was the worst customer service. I was so livid, and we literally wasted 30 minutes, a total of 30 minutes on something that should have been a straight exchange. And so we were like, good Lord, like we were really ticked off with Indigo Bookstores about this. So then as the girls, processing the refund for me, and then I was going to get ready to purchase my new Nanea, Marilyn, was like, I just don't understand. Like, this is kind of another strike against Indigo for me. I much prefer Chapters, which Chapters and Indigo are owned by the same people, but Marilyn prefers Chapters over Indigo. And she's like, it just doesn't make sense why you can't just do a straight exchange. And I said, yes, because I said it told me online that I could make an exchange in person. Well, then the cashier proceeds to explain. She goes, well, that's for Indigo products. American Girl is sort of separate, so they have their own policies. And we were like, oh, okay, well, it would have been nice if that had have been explained to us from the beginning, that the policies are different in terms of American Girl. But even still, guys, it still doesn't make sense to me, because if it was an in-store purchase that I could have done a straight exchange, and that's what the manager thought it was initially. She thought it was an in-store purchase that I was wanting to exchange. Why was she trying to force me to take a display doll? A doll that had been on display in the store, probably handled and played with by many children, which is why it probably had a huge scratch down its arm. And I even saw some little scratches on the other arm too. It doesn't make sense why she would be trying to force me to take a display doll over a brand new doll in box. And the only way that we actually got out of her basically forcing me to take that doll was because suddenly another worker came back, rushing back, and said, well, wait, I have to check that doll again because we might not be able to give her that one. And then she lifted up the back of her shirt, and there was like a thing written on the doll body saying like display, do not sell, or whatever. So she's like, no, we can't give her that one. But it just doesn't make sense. Like any store that you shop at, you buy an item. If you need to exchange it, it's usually just a straight exchange if it's the same item. It's just a straight exchange. So, and usually the way it works is you go and you pick the item you want to exchange it with off the shelf yourself, which is what I did. And so why was she forcing me to take a display? Nothing made sense. None of it made sense. It was really irritating. So that was the ordeal with Nanea, but I got it all settled out, and she's here, and she's good, and I'm happy with her and all that. Oh yeah, that was a waste of 30 minutes. So then after that, then we went back into the store, and I did my shopping there. So I got my 2 doll stands that I needed. I got Nanea's accessories, which I'll show you everything in a little haul. And I got, I don't know if there was anything else I got. I got the accessories and the doll stands. I feel like there might have been one other thing I got, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look when I do my haul. But anyways, Marilyn ended up getting her first American Girl doll, and she also got Nenea because, like I said, she found 2 other ones on the shelf, and she fell in love with Nenea. She said, if I was ever to, you know, like earlier when we first got there, she's like, if I was ever to get my first American Girl doll, it would be Nenea because she is gorgeous, and that's what she did. So she got her first American Girl doll. So she got Nenea as well. But yeah, it was quite the experience. And then we just took our bags back out to the car because they were heavy, they're big and bulky. So we left them in the car, went back into Indigo, and we looked at a couple of more things in Indigo non-American Girl related. And I ended up buying a couple of non-American Girl things, which I'll also show you in a haul video. Then we went into the mall and we looked around. We went into H&M. We went into Home Outfitters. I feel like there was one other store we went into as well in that area, but I can't remember what it was now. And then went and had some lunch. So, and it was, oh my gosh, the food court was a zoo. It was crazy. It took us so long to find a table to sit. Finally got one, so we enjoyed our lunch. And then from there we went to Baby Gap and Gymboree. And then I think that was it. I think that's all we did. And then, oh, we also went to regular Gap. And then we headed home. So, yeah. So anyways, that was our big ordeal. But I have my new Nenea, and she's good. And she's looking pretty. And I've fixed up her hair. And in fact, her hair is even nicer than the other one because the other one had a lot of little short pieces that I was going to have to pluck out. But this one like barely had anything like that. And her hair is just like super pretty. She does have a little bit. You can't even see it though because of the way I styled her hair. But underneath here, like where the wig, like the hair of the wig meets the forehead underneath, part of it got a little like kinked up in the hairnet. And I managed to almost totally straighten the kinks out by using water. And I'm hoping over time, if I keep doing that, it'll fix. But the way that her hair is styled and the way that I styled it, like you don't even really notice it anyways unless you pull her hair back. So I'm like, whatever, like after that ordeal, I'm not even gonna like bother to try to be any more picky. But yeah, like mainly, you know, the main thing is she doesn't have any flaws in the vinyl. Everything is good. There's no, you know, white flecks or anything like that. And like I said, the way that her hair is styled, like I can't even show you guys. Like I would have to pull her hair back for you to see it. So like once her hair is brushed out nicely like this and styled, it's so pretty. Like she's just gorgeous. I love her waves and yeah, she's just so pretty. So anyways, I originally was going to put the haul in with this video, but I think I'm now just gonna do a separate video because this video ended up being a little longer than I expected it to be because I had to tell you about this whole situation. Regardless of that, like I said, we had a really nice time at the mall. Really enjoyed looking around in some of the shops and having some lunch and just, you know, having a nice day out together. So getting out of the cold and the cold has been so bad, guys. It is just like minus 20, minus 30 with the wind chill. It's ridiculous, but it was just nice. We had a nice time, and thankfully I did end up with the Nenea that I picked off the shelf, but yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to sign off on this video then. And stay tuned for a haul video. I'll show you everything that I got from our day at Yorkdale. Plus, I also have a online order that came in from Children's Place, so I'll add that in. That was a Boxing Week sale, and I have a lupus clinic appointment coming up this Thursday, and it's close to the Eaton Center, which also has an Indigo American Girl boutique. So I may venture over to the Eaton Center after my appointment and, I don't know, look at what kind of things they have in stock there, because I do find the stock really is quite different between Yorkdale and Eaton Center a lot of times. So I might go and have a look there. I might have a look at some other stores at the Eaton Center. So yeah, I guess maybe I'll hold off on making the haul video until Thursday, so that way if I get anything there, I can just combine everything from a haul. Like, you know, it's just after Christmas sales too, which is really nice. So all right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed seeing Nenea. She's so pretty. Ugh, I love her. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, I didn't even realize it when I did my original box opening of the first Nenea I had, that she actually had plastic wrap on her thighs under her shorts. I didn't know that until I got this one home and opened her up, and then as I was styling her hair, her short lifted up and I was like, oh, she has plastic on her thighs. So I didn't even realize that on the other dolls. So she probably still had the plastic on her when I returned her, but I thought that was kind of funny. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing the little bit of footage that I got at the American Girl store and seeing the new Girl of the Year, Luciana. She is really pretty, but I won't be getting her. I'm not a huge fan of the purple streak in her hair, and I will probably get some of her outfits that I like and put them on my other dolls, but that's about it. But she is really cool. I love the outer space theme, the whole STEM theme. I think it's brilliant, and the outfits and accessories and the Mars Explorer thing is just like, it's amazing. I enjoyed looking at it all. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.